Hey, how is everyone doing? Going? Whoa, some word salad there. Happy Friday, TGIF. Oh, yes, indeedy. All right, so I got some pretty exciting news on my own personal end. I'm about to upgrade my RAM here on my laptop. Oh, yes, I did buy a new laptop. You cannot operate with anything less than 64 gigs of RAM. And it's pretty like crazy because I'm 37, been on the internet since I was like 12. I thought that I was a utter baller when I upgraded my desktop back in like I believe it was like 2003 or 2002 to 4 gigs of RAM. Oh yeah, it's pretty humorous. How times have exploded, right? So TradingView might be a little laggy, but I do want to record this video really quickly before doing some operation on my laptop. Oh, why didn't I buy a new desktop? I'm a very mobile human being, so I do a lot of traveling, so therefore moving around with a laptop is a lot easier than a desktop. But I do know that desktops, oh yeah, they do, whoo, they can take a beating, in a good way. Okay, a lot of stuff to talk about here today. If you are new, welcome. I'm going to try to keep this video under 20 minutes, I promise. I respect your all time. A lot of you all have been dropping likes, dropping comments. This channel is growing nicely. Almost picked up a handful of new subscribers, on our way to 100 subscribers here, so please keep it up. If you want me to talk about any other types of stocks, definitely let me know down in the comment section. Not to mention, I am a long-term investor in a couple stocks, SoFi, AMD, both bull. As for just other stocks in general, I mean, if I see opportunities to go ahead and make a trade, do a swing trade under 6 months, maybe a little longer than 6 months, I'll take it. If I see opportunities for 3 months or maybe even a month, I'll take it. Profits are profits, wins are wins, and at the end of the day, you got to ask yourself, are you a profitable trader? Since being in this market since 2020, 21 profitability, although I don't really want to consider those years because I just bought the COVID down stocks. So it didn't really put too much intelligence into stuff. Plus, I wasn't using TradingView or knew what the stock market was. I didn't know what a Fibonacci sequence level was. I didn't know what moving averages were, the difference between simple moving averages, exponential moving averages, relative strength index, MACD, moving average convergence divergence. Didn't know any of that stuff. 2022, still profitable. 23, got my nuts kicked in. Pretty bad year. Last year, in the green, profitable. And this year, well, I should say April of next year, I gotta send a check to the cocksuckers at the IRS for 2025. So, overall, I mean, buying the fear mentality has worked for me. It is my strategy. It does wonders. I've talked about this in the last couple weeks. I have deployed a lot of capital. And the real question is if I'm going to deploy more capital. So right now in the 5-minute time frame, we see SoFi just being pulled down with just the broader market is selling off. The NASDAQ is getting hammered. Bitcoin is not really taking a beating as much as it should. We got the VIX significantly spiking up today. And I mean, anytime the VIX spikes up to these levels, it's a buying opportunity. It really is. So I'm doing a public profile challenge. I'm calling it the Bung Profile, like Beavis and Butthead, Cornholio, Bungholio. Yeah, I am a South Park Beavis and Butthead fan. Call me an immature human being, but I mean, hey, you gotta find some laughter in your life. So, I got a little bit of cash left to deploy. Today, my account here is taking a beating. My Robinhood account, my private profile, whoo, oh yeah, it's taking a beating. Absolutely taking a beating. But it's kind of really funny because on my main account, SoFi is my largest position, AMD is my second. On here, it's the opposite. By cost basis, SoFi, by cost basis, AMD is my highest in my cost basis. Now, AMD has just done a flip on here. If you watched a video of mine, I believe last or even earlier this week, I was up about, I believe, like a couple percent on AMD. On my Robinhood position, I was up by almost close to 25%. That has been wiped. Palantir, I was up maybe close to 15%. SoFi was about 112%. Not more than a week ago. Oh, how much the stock market can flip, and I love it. Absolutely love it. Meta was close to 10%. Look at Honest. Honest Company is my risk on play for this account. Now, you can argue that every position here is risk on. I don't agree with that. Honest is up by almost 15% on here. Unbelievable. Adobe, a new position, up by almost 13% here. So what is my game plan, and what the hell is happening to the stock market? Fear. A lot of stuff. A lot of stuff is happening. People are taking profits in the chip sector that are up tremendously. It's the end of the year. Tax harvesting is happening, but at the same time, you got to remember that if people are up by hundreds and hundreds of percents on these tech stocks, right now, I am a long-term shareholder into SoFi for over 1 year. My game plan for SoFi is a 10-year long seeing what the company does. Anthony Noto has said that he wants SoFi to be $1 trillion company. That is going to bring me, just by a SoFi position, to like 7 figs. If hypothetically that happens. That is unbelievable. There are people that have became millionaires because of Tesla. They bought in when Tesla was about ready to be a bankrupt company, and they were loading the boat when Tesla was like $4 or $5. And I'm talking like before all the stock splits of Tesla happened. I believe Tesla has only done one. I might be wrong, but I'm talking like over a decade ago in Tesla. There are people that have become millionaires. Can SoFi make you a millionaire? Who knows? It happens. I mean, if you invested in Apple decades ago and you actually are holding some shares, you have a 7-figure like life. Okay. Morning water cheers. Already 16 ounces of coffee deep. Woohoo! 10 years from now, let's say hypothetically, 10 years from now, SoFi is either below or near a trillion dollar market cap. Crazy, right? But crazier things have happened, and the CEO will go ahead and say what their vision is. Sometimes their vision gets executed. Sometimes it gets executed better. But hypothetically, if SoFi was, let's say, on this profile, oh man, this is just like playing with stuff here. I believe SoFi would have to be, if SoFi was $1 trillion company, I believe it would be around, keep the number simple, it would be around $800 per share, but let's say $750 per share. You times that by 379 shares, that is 284 grand. Crazy to really think about it. So let's go ahead and say I have 284 grand as a SoFi position, and I need money. Am I not going to be taking some profits on my large position? Of course I am. Does that mean sell out of the entire thing? No, that's stupid. But the point that I'm making is that what we're seeing right now in the market is a lot of fear, but also a lot of profit taking because of the end of the year. People are getting ready to spend money on Christmas. People are getting ready to buy themselves nice things. This account challenge that is going to officially start in January. If the stock market crashes in January, I'll push this public profile to probably 50 grand. So I'll go ahead and add in another $20,000 to buy more stock. And it will be a 12-month challenge, not a 18-month challenge. But when this public profile reaches when the Bung profile reaches 6 figures, I'm going to be taking profit and pulling out money to buy nice things for myself. Why? Because you got to enjoy your money. You really do. It's part of life. You know, you got to enjoy wealth. You got to remember that. And when I say enjoy wealth, I don't mean enjoy a feeling by blowing it up your nose. I legitimately mean enjoy wealth by, hey, maybe I can use $10,000 as a down payment for a nice brand new vehicle. Hey, maybe I'm, or maybe I just want to go on a very nice, well-paid vacation. Or maybe I want to maybe I want to do some upgrades around my house. Or maybe I want to pay off some debt. You know, it's just anything. You gotta have a game plan, and you also got to do something that's gonna better your life. Two main aspects. I honestly don't really mean to insult anyone's intelligence, but we are making money with the devil in the stock market, so you got to be very humble and respective. Okay, so what's my game plan overall for SoFi? If SoFi goes below 25 bucks, I'm going to go ahead and deploy probably, I got $1,200 left. So hypothetically, if SoFi does drop below $25, which who knows, we have just broken the 100-day moving average here. So we could very well challenge this $25 of support here. We do have one bottom created around here, but I mean, if we touch this bottom, I might nibble some shares in. I might buy $200 worth of shares. That's what I'm going to personally be doing. If we break below here, we're talking about $21 range support is going to be our next area for SoFi. Pretty much all like around here. At that level, I'll probably pick up more aggressive shares. So that's really my position on SoFi. Palantir, I'm not really looking to add any more shares. Got a pretty decent position built here. Robinhood is a lot of fears because some data came out about people slowing down on crypto on margin because everyone is just very over leveraged on margin. The big question though for Robinhood is it going to affect their growth rates? And you really got to say, hey, do you trust this management team? Robinhood is going to prevail in a bullish market. If this market next year is going to go full on bullish, I mean, hey, maybe it would be wise for me to pick up a share or two. I got to really think about it. It depends how far Robinhood really dips down. AMD, if AMD, the party for AMD has not even started. If AMD gets below 200 bucks, I may buy a share or two. Meta is a solid. I like where I'm at with Meta. That's a hold. Honest Company, depending what happens after earnings, we may see reversal with Honest here. Honest is in a transformation period. So if Honest, so a transformation on their balance sheet. They're getting rid of products that are not doing very well, and they're replacing it with good products. Very similar to a transformation of SoFi in 2024 early that a lot of people didn't like. I was buying shares of SoFi. I like where I'm at with my position on Honest. If they go ahead and really get into the threes, I honestly may nibble out, start taking profits on Honest. What I do with those profits, it really depends what other stocks are primarily doing. If Honest Company spikes up like crazy, we go on like an epic run like Honest did. I believe it was last year. Last year, Honest Company went from being legitimately a penny stock to busting out of a penny stock status. A penny stock is under $5, so they officially busted out of being a penny stock November last year, all the way to they had to squeeze, pretty much a massive squeeze, and now we're basically retracting on that squeeze. But I mean, if hypothetically Honest were to double up, that's going to be a quick trade, and I mean, hey, I make money, move on. I might buy a new position here. I've been looking at PayPal. Adobe, I think that I did very good with Adobe, and I think that I underbought Adobe again. I think Adobe's going to set up in the next quarter, especially with their guidance. They did a triple beat on earnings. They beat on guidance, raise. They beat on revenue, raise. They beat on EPS, raise. They're a growing company. They had record-breaking AI sales for Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Give me a break. Adobe can easily start pumping like crazy. And a lot of people underestimate these large market cap companies. Like, we are living in a time where $1 trillion company is nothing. It's nothing. And AMD is at 350-ish bill. Adobe is around the same. Give me a break. These companies could easily push 500, 6, 7, 800 billion easily for being a tech company. So I'm very confident and very happy with my position there. What am I overall doing right now with this fear? We got to wait and see on major indexes, okay? The major indexes are definitely getting hit. It's fear once again. So we got SPY pulling back here. SPY can get back to this 50-day moving average, but if they break the 50, we can retest the 100. If we break the 100, we have a bottom down here. But I mean, it's kind of really ironic because maybe we don't fully all the way break down, and maybe we just get to another higher low. I believe that's correct verbiage, higher low. So maybe we just get down to this 50-day moving average, and then that's it. And then next week we're like, okay, this is fucking stupid and silly. We just got a rate cut. We got data coming out next week, but the Fed said not to trust the data. What the hell? However, if the data comes in like pretty decent and stuff, or maybe a little hot, maybe not. So it's really whatever data we're going to be getting next week, it's going to be irrelevant because the Fed said don't trust it. That's like the Fed literally kicked the stock market in the nuts here. You got the Qs, basically the Q has broken through the 50. Once again, we got to really see. Here's the interesting thing. The IWM, the IWM yesterday broke to all-time highs. The Russell small caps, crazy. So you got the small caps rocking, friggin' rolling here. It's a little weird. So overall, what am I personally doing? I'm just watching, and I'm being patient. Depending on how the day transpires, I'm looking at AMD right now. Holy friggin' bananas, man. 5% here on AMD. I honestly may pick up like one more share of AMD. I'm not gonna lie, on this profile, I may dip into AMD a little more. But overall, I gotta really see, and I think a lot of people are really waiting and seeing if this pull down is just like this Friday, if we are gonna rally into Santa Claus land next week, and what transpires. It's a lot of fears. Once again, you buy the fear, you buy the blood, you buy the dip, you sell the rip. If you're a long-term investor, you just pick up great shares and great companies. My friends, thank you so much for watching. I'll be making a new video tomorrow, pretty much of an aftermath. I got to go and do some upgrades. God bless. Happy Friday. Please like, subscribe, and hopefully you found value in this information. But just remember, we are. I myself, and I know a lot of you all are in probably a lot of similar stocks here. We are in profitable companies. This Bung profile, it's all profitable companies, growing profitable companies. Like, this is where you got to go ahead and enjoy your sleep and enjoy the weekend. Profitable companies, it's fear. Utter fear and panic in the market. All right, later, everyone.